All right, we are live. What is up, YouTube world? It is your boy, Comics on the Mind, aka Mind Shift, with my co-host, Gorilla Todd, aka the Toddfather, and we are here for another episode of the Teachers Lounge. What's up, Todd? How you doing?
Awesome, man. Great. I'm doing great. It's great to be hanging with you again and our special guest.
Who's our special guest?
There must be somebody else coming on.
John joining us. What's up, John? How you doing?
It's good to be here, man. I'm always in the chat, hanging out. It's always comics. It's the natural combo for me. So, I'm always down for more of this.
Awesome.
Yeah. we definitely got to have you on more often, for sure. How's everybody's week been going? I know we're getting close to the end of the week.
Yeah, it was good. Pretty much finished up my week today. I got tomorrow off from school, so I got a lot of catching up to do and organizational stuff to do with my books and stuff. So I'm going to take advantage of that today. And then I'm probably going to go hunting this weekend for books. I want to check out a couple places I heard of. That's always interesting. Could be interesting. Otherwise, yeah. And then hopefully I'll be on the auction tomorrow and my auction on Saturday. So you guys know where I'm at.
Oh yeah, I know you be putting in work for the auctions, and your Saturday auction's been doing pretty well too.
Yeah. It's helping me build the channel. So
yeah.
It's people are tuning in. So that's like I think that gives me a good rationale and justification. People are tuning in, they're buying stuff. It's exciting.
Yeah.
I got little stickers.
Building
Got some little stickers made with my little gorilla on them.
All the stickers.
I'm gonna need to make sure I order and get some.
I got a pack. I've been holding on you for a little while. You'll get a sticker. Don't worry.
Well, I love repping all the community members, man. All the stickers. It's so cool.
I think I ordered some things you can just throw in a window.
It's like Pokemon cards. You gotta collect them all. Nice. What about you, John? What have you been up to this week?
It was a shorter week. We mentioned before going live that my school has no classes tomorrow. So today was Friday. We were in classrooms and kids were dressed up and everybody was wearing masks on top of masks. And it was a lot of fun hanging out, doing all the silly, as normal as a third grade in this time can be. Then so tomorrow I'm off. Gonna get my flu shot and get some little thises and that's done. I'm not gonna do any hunting though. I'm a little bummed on that, but I did snag a trade, and I bought a couple of trades off eBay yesterday that may arrive. So we'll see.
Nice.
So how are you doing, Mind Shift? How was your week been?
My week has been pretty good. It's I'm really busy because we're getting close. Well, tomorrow I don't have off, unfortunately. I have to do assessments with all my students and make sure they're on level. And if they're not on level, I got to put them in groups that is at their level. So I'll be working tomorrow. And then our after school program is having a boo bash tomorrow. So we're gonna be watching Hotel Transylvania and doing like a trivia kind of. A trivia game, so we'll stop the movie and ask a bunch of trivia questions to the kids, and we're gonna play a bunch of games. It'll be pretty cool. And then we're gonna do a show and tell as well for costumes, because our kids can't go trick or treating this year, so it's like at least they'll be able to show off their costumes. So, but yeah, besides that, my week has been pretty good. I didn't pick up any books yet. I'll pick up my books tomorrow, but I've been reading a trade that I got from one of the Kickstarters that we supported on Not Near Mint. So it's pretty cool dude. I didn't even know he's from Oakland. So But one of the books that he wrote, Supernauts, it's if you like cosmic multiversal like storylines, like this is definitely the story for you. It's really good. It's called Supernauts. He did the art and wrote the story. It's really good. I'm
That's cool.
definitely enjoying it. And yeah, I'm gonna have to do a review on it one of these days. But yeah, I definitely like suggest reading this. It's pretty good. I got a couple more things from him as well.
We were talking about Giga before we went live, and I know Todd got it as well. The artist apparently lives in this area because he was at my shop signing books on Wednesday, but I couldn't. I had snagged my books late Tuesday, and I couldn't come back on Wednesday, so I was bummed. But I was excited to hear that he's doing signings in this area too.
That's cool.
Nice.
I went to a signing I want to say last Saturday, and I got this one is going to be sent to you, Kurt.
Oh, that is awesome! I forgot you got.
Wow! So that triple sign
go? That is
shooter. Damn.
That is so awesome. I keep on forgetting you were going to that. How did it go? Like, was it like super packed?
The Zek signature is one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, that is a great Captain America cover.
Again, I sent like I want to say I think like 5 or 6 books off to get graded. So they,
nice. That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah, of course.
Sent off, and I had a couple of the 2015 Heroes Con exclusive that was like Secret Wars Apo with Miles on it, and it updated like some of the characters in the background.
That's a great cover.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one, but that's awesome.
2 of those signed and sent in, and then 2 Punisher miniseries ones.
I remember the one you were telling me about.
The number 1 from the old miniseries from like 86, I think, or 84, something like that.
I want that series one day.
They said it'll take about a month to get those back, so I'll have to wait.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of backlog.
Better than like months, though.
Days.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it'll be a month.
Yeah, hopefully. Cause I know with you see it takes like time for them to like send stuff back depending on like the amount of like books they have to look through or look over. I've never sent anything to CGC honestly, so it's like definitely something I want to do.
I really only submitted one time at a convention, and then I submitted I submitted twice at a convention. Once was books to CBCS, and once I had to give books back to CGC that they had a reholder for like some manufacturer issues, which they did. It wasn't a problem other than just dropping them off and everything.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have sent I'm not really sending the books off. I go to the store, I get them signed, and then they do the witness and they take the books and they send them off to CGC and they just call me when they're in, and I go pick them up. So I don't actually do any of the paperwork or anything.
Nice. I know my store, my LCS, they do that as well. You can just drop books off to them and they'll send them off to CGC for you. Because it's pretty. Is it expensive to have an account with CGC or?
I think
I know, John. You have an account with them, don't you?
Yeah, you. There's several ways to do it, and the most common way that people go about it, I think, is the year membership, where you pay $150 and you're in for a year, and then they give you a coupon or whatever, a discount code for $150 off your first few orders, meaning you get that money basically back as long as as long as you spend over $150 in that year slabbing books. It's the membership already paid for itself. So I sent 12 modern books in my first submission, And I went way over the 150 with those 12 books. So, I mean, I had already done it. And then my membership kept me in so that I could send another round of books over the summer. And I tried to send a third, but I got it back too late. So I'll have to, I started a New Year subscription.
Nice. What about you, Todd? Have you ever done it? Or do you have an account?
No, I don't have an account. I've never done it. That's what I'm saying. I've only done it like where I dropped it off at a convention.
Oh, gotcha.
And where I've, just the store took care of it. I've never actually mailed books off to a grading company.
Because you don't have to pay for the subscription when you do it at a convention like that. You can just set up the free online account and then show up with your slip right there at the convention and do it all right there. So that's definitely another way to go. You don't have to pay the cost up front.
Yeah, I mean, it just so happened I was able to go to Heroes Con summer before last, and it just worked out. I knew I'd be going, and I brought the 2 books with me. I needed them to reholder, so there was a convenience there.
Nice. So what books did you guys pick up this week? I know I didn't pick up anything, but did you guys pick up anything good this week besides Giga?
So
did you pick up Once a Teacher?
That wasn't this week.
But
I got the new Detective.
what is it? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, what with I guess it's not a sideways variant because it's not on the side of the building, but it looks
classic Batman. It's kind of the classic Batman motif walking up the
right.
side.
That's awesome.
Well, Lee Bermejo does these. He's been doing these amazing variants. Now, this I will legitimately say this is my first ever Detective Comics on my pull list. I've never had Detective on my pull list until this issue. And I'm gonna give it like a couple of months of trying it out because I've been a Batman only kind of guy, but Batman has been such a roller coaster of just garbage sometimes that I just was like, you know what? I took a huge break from Batman.
I've read a lot of good detective stories, Batman stories in Detective Comics.
So I was like, that's what I've been hearing, how good it is. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna restart my love of Batman by going detective. So that's my next round here for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't read a lot of Batman. I just literally jumped on Detective before. I know, right? Oh, it's nice.
I love the Dodson variants are so great. I love the Dodson variants, man.
Nice.
I feel like the Dodsons are one of the most underrated cover artists. I don't know.
Yeah, his art is pretty awesome, and his wife does, I think, the coloring. Rachel. I met him at, I want to say at MetaCon a couple of years back.
I just feel like when people count their favorite cover artists, they never mention the Dodsons, and I'm always like, that's like top 5 for me. Like I see a Dodson cover, and I'm always like, my interest is now piqued. I saw the covers for that X-Men Fantastic Four, storyline that they were doing the interiors for as well.
Yeah,
and I was like, I love it.
Definitely.
That's great.
That's Joshua Middleton.
That's like beautiful cover. That's like you frame that and put it on in like your living room. I just want to give a shout out to a couple people in the chat. Shout out to Captain Comics. Happy birthday to you. Ninja Diary Comics, what's up, dude? And then we got Tacoma Comics. What's up, Tacoma? What's going on, dude?
another teacher in the chat.
What up? Do you have tomorrow off too, Tacoma? If you have tomorrow off, I'm gonna be mad. It's a conspiracy. I want off. But it's all good. I'm gonna enjoy myself for the Boo Bash tomorrow.
Yeah, so this is my first ever read of Detective. It wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't bad. It was decent. So I'm curious to kind of see this storyline. This villain is definitely interesting, the Mirror. So I'm curious to see where this goes. I do like Tomasi in general, so I'm kind of curious to see kind of how this plays out.
Nice.
We picked up the 3 different covers for Strange Academies. This one was my favorite.
Oh, of course, dude. Beautiful. I regret not
read a single issue.
Oh, it's really good, dude.
I hear great things. I want to pick up the trade when it gets to enough issues that they put a trade out. I want to grab it.
Nice, yeah. I need to get back on that.
Those are gorgeous. Did you see? There's a I don't know if it's because FOC came around or whatever, but they dropped the cover for one of the upcoming issues for Strange Academy. It's like I don't know who the characters, but so Doctor Strange is holding one of the students. It's the Dormammu's child.
Yes, he's my favorite character. Yep.
So Dormammu's offspring is like,
I think it's
like he's dying, and Doctor Strange is like protecting him and like putting out a spell with this really cool black background. It's a gorgeous cover.
Nice. Just want to give a shout out to Lost Comics. Oh, what's his name?
Doyle. I think it's Doyle.
Okay. Yeah, that spotlight cover that they came out with, that one blew up. What's up?
Yeah, see, it's been so hot. I've been unable to jump on anywhere. So I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to wait this one out and just read the trade later. And if it's so amazing, like everybody says, I'll just keep an eye out for an issue 1 when it just cools off. You know.
I wish I could do that with all the X-Men books, but Todd Tacoma was asking if you have any extra Alex Ross Scarlet Witch covers.
Yeah, probably.
It's conference week, half days. Oh, you're lucky, dude.
I don't have conferences for like another month. But we start. We don't.
I got one.
Didn't start in August or anything. Ooh.
I got one for you, Tacoma.
Nice.
You want the Alex Ross and
I think he just the Alex Ross cover, I think.
I got you, Tacoma.
And then he was talking about he just talked detective. I thought it was a great issue. Really enjoyed the new villain. I gotta read this. It's on my pull. I haven't read it yet though.
Yeah. I might read that after we finish. I'm excited.
I mean, for me, it's all new. I heard the issue right before this was a good one too, 1028, which was like a solo single issue kind of story, and I might pick that one up as well. Just to kind of, here's the thing. I know I get a lot of grief for crapping on everything, especially DC, but I feel like I have such a love for Batman and that world. It's just disappointing. I feel I'm not connecting with the editorial side of DC these days, and I don't appreciate kind of where they're. Honestly, I feel like they're just all editors are all asleep at the wheel over there, and so it's hard to like get in on it and really be passionate about it because when it starts to get good, then it derails.
Even with the Black Label stuff, you think?
I like the non. Trinity stuff, like when they get like a side character, like the Harleen was really good. The Strange Adventures has been really good. My read of the week was Last God. I mean that was a great one shot issue. With a different, which I thought I was not going to like this because it's a completely different team, different writer, different artist.
Really?
It was great. Yeah, because it's like a little one shot within the universe, but not as part of the story that they're telling with this main tale. So, anyways, I wanted Batman, so I needed an in, and I was like, I'm going to give Detective a shot. I'm not going to give more Batman my money.
That's fine. I read Batman for the Joker War. That's why I hopped on. So I'll see where that goes. If I like it, I'll keep reading. If I don't, then I'll hop off. Just like I hopped off of Spider-Man.
A lot of people are doing that right now. I hear ASM is just not doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I read like the Spider-Man 2099 stuff, and then I read what was that last arc that I didn't read any of the Carnage, Absolute Carnage stuff. I can do it. Even though I heard it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Uh,
I find I like to read stuff more like long form now. Like I'm just more inclined to pick up a trade and read it that way. I just don't really. I don't have the inclination so much to. Even though I get a lot of books, but I just don't. I'll look at stuff and it just doesn't. I don't know if it grabs me enough sometimes, or I can always sit and read a Batman comic and what have you. But
No, I agree. I mean, I tend to be a trade reader. I've been buying the 2 trades I just bought off of eBay. I've never read The Age of Apocalypse, and I found these like cheapo complete editions of that, and I was like, oh, I'll give this a shot, and I'll own it for less than $20.
is it good?
I remember liking the first couple stories, like in the Age of Apocalypse. They like branched it out like a lot, and then I think
it's huge. It's huge.
But like there was one story that the if I'm remembering right, there was the main Age of Apocalypse story. There was one X-Men team, and there were 2 X-Men teams.
Yes.
And one was Astonishing X-Men, and I don't remember, the other was just X-Men or Uncanny or something.
Okay.
One of them, Wolverine, has like 1 claw and one hand is like chopped off.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy.
It's super. Everybody tells me it's like super 90s, but that if you can get into it, it's like incredible.
Well, like that one was like, I think Joe Madureira did the artwork, and he just had, if you like this stuff, you like this stuff. I don't know. I always dug it. I always thought it was cool. It was kind of like video game looking, manga influenced.
Well, I mean, I like the character Apocalypse, and I loved the X universe, and it was this huge event that I never got into because I had just stopped collecting basically right when that rolled out. And it's so, I mean, the event is enormous. The volumes I'm buying, there are 4 of them, and they're like these giant, thick trades. There's 4 of them to cover the event. So like, I knew that it was the kind of thing that, like you're saying, Todd, I wanted to read all of it. I didn't want to I didn't want to scattershot it. I wanted to just enjoy it. So there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
That's the way to do it too.
Yep. What's funny is I always heard like mixed opinions about Age of Apocalypse. I heard good things. I've heard bad things. So I'm not sure. I wasn't always sure if I should read it or not. So let me know if it's good.
I will definitely. John. Yeah. I mean, it's everything I've heard is it is super 90s, but if you can get past that and be okay, just like in the nostalgia of the 90s comics, you can really find a lot of fun in it.
Yeah. Well, I like some. I just want to give a quick shout out to Tony Fett. What's up, Tony? I I love my favorite team is like Forceworks. Like I love that one of that team with like U.S. Agent, Scarlet Witch, Wonder Man. I love Wonder Man. I think Brother Voodoo was a part of it. They had a solid team, dude. And it was definitely 90s like art, but it was awesome. Like
I don't really
remember. Depends on what you're doing.
I honestly don't really remember the storyline of Age of Apocalypse so much. I just remember like there being, some of the like redesigns of the characters were kind of cool. I think Starfire looked pretty cool. They gave him a big redesign.
Nice.
I remember liking it. I just don't remember not read. I don't think I read I probably read the first couple of main miniseries with the X-Men and didn't follow on like all the ancillary tie-ins. Really not
tie-ins.
I'm just not a big fan of it. The whole tie-in, like, it's just it's too gluttonous.
Well, I agree. It's definitely a way to get to your pockets.
Yeah, but it's really, how often is it like cohesive storytelling? It's just like a big sloppy mess of like I don't know, sloppy mess. That's just, I'll just leave it at that.
No, I totally get it. Yeah, Tacoma, I'm interested. Tomorrow I'm dropping an article on some of that, Ian. The article I wrote is about like what I think is going to happen in Ten of Swords and leading out of Ten of Swords. What are some of my guesses? And I totally agree. Something big is going to happen with Krakoa and the island itself, because now there's 2 islands and both of them have ways of communicating, and they both want to rejoin and reform as one land. And I'm curious how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too, especially since like they're both islands are very aware of like what can happen if they both fuse together.
And
it's funny. Go ahead.
I'm totally saying that they're gonna kill a handful of your favorite characters here in this series. Like, it's a 10v10 fight. We are going to lose some of our people. So I went through and put odds on all 10 of our.
That's hilarious.
Kind of look and see.
Certain
characters like Storm and Wolverine that are going to be fine. I'm not worried that they're going to die. They're not going to kill those guys off. But there are other ones that I'm legitimately saying, like Apocalypse, I'm giving him low odds of coming out of this event. I have a feeling they're going to kill Apocalypse in this event.
Good.
I'm going to give a penalty for a bad movie.
I don't blame him for that horrible movie at all. He's a cool character. That was an awful movie. Oh my God.
Well, association.
Yep.
I just remember him growing super big and just stepping on Xavier.
Actually, Tacoma said the mutants wanted the gate closed. Konnichiwa. He says the mutants wanted the gate closed, but Krakoa insists on keeping it open. My feeling is that that's not going to be as big a problem as what I fear is going to happen is they're going to kill Cypher. And Cypher is the way Cypher is the way to communicate, right? If they kill Cypher, then the island can't talk to us. Now, but in the issue that dropped this week in Stasis, they show us that there's a mutant on the other side that can talk to their sides of the island. So what if our guy loses, they rejoin the islands, and this other guy lives? Now this other guy is the main conduit of communication between the islands. So
and I'm a huge like New Mutants fan, and there was an issue where like Doug is talking to his arm, and I'm just like, for the longest time I was like, what is going on? And it's just like, oh my God, it's Warlock. Yes, you're alive.
They're combined now, aren't they? Doug and Warlock?
They're basically combined. But I don't think anybody like I realizes that. I didn't realize that. I'm like, when did that happen?
I don't even know.
So it definitely.
It might have happened like when they went to Asgard. I'm trying to remember. I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
If you can figure that, if you can figure it out, let me know, because I'll definitely read that series. Oh, Tacoma hopes Mr. Sinister and Empath dies.
Shame on you. Mr. Sinister cracks me up, man. Mr. Sinister is hilarious. When he played rock, paper, scissors with his own clone in the last issue of Hellions. I know you hated it, Tacoma, but I would happily pay the $4 just to read an issue where he plays rock, paper, scissors with his own clone. That's hilarious.
I'm just reading too many X books. Like I wasn't interested in Cable. I wanted to read X Factor because it's nostalgia purposes, but I don't even think it's the same team from like the old school like X Factor.
No. And in fact, I read issue 1 and I thought it was garbage.
Telekinetic Age.
What's up, Telekinetic Age? I heard good things. It's just not my thing.
I cut way back on my pull list. So I was down to like 4 books a week. And then knowing that this event was coming so that I could then supplement and get through this event, because I didn't want to miss anything in this. I felt like this was going to be important and I wanted to be all in on it.
Hey, William Smallwood.
What's up, William?
Yeah.
Warlock. It's just, I knew it. I knew it. That's awesome. That's cool. I still need to catch up on some of these books. I don't think I got Status, but I think I'm going to pick it up tomorrow when I go pick up my other books.
I will say I was disappointed.
Did you read it, John? Or
yeah, I read it, and I will say this is the 11th issue, so this is the exact middle of the saga or whatever, the event. And this might be on the low end of my favorite issues. Now, it's mostly because almost nothing happens. Like the whole issue centers around the heroes traveling to Otherworld. That's basically all the mutants do in this whole story. I won't spoil the very end. There is a plot twist at the end, but it's one that I've been saying is coming since the first issue, since creation. I've been calling something and saying this is going to happen. They're going to reveal this. They're going to reveal this, and they did.
Do I have to go back to some of your videos and see what that is?
Yeah. So, but the good part of this issue is the rest of it shows how the villains are recruiting their team and where they're getting their 10 people and their 10 swords from. So that was the cool part of this issue, and that's why I chose this cover, because it has all 10 of their team on the cover. These are the bad guys right here, all 10 of them.
That's the main cover, right?
That's cover A. And I will say that's the best part of the issue, but I felt like the issue was just really boring and not a whole lot of action.
Gotcha.
In fact, I would say no action. Just like that. That was it. I basically summarized all. It's a lot of talk.
Development. Oh, God.
So in that way, I think what they were trying to do is just play it safe for people who are only reading the 10 of Swords issues, right? There's only 3 10 of Swords issues. It's creation, stasis, destruction, and it's those 3. The rest of it are actual comics that you know, maybe you're reading Cable, maybe you're reading Wolverine, whatever. So I think they were trying to play it safe. Yeah. So, which was a good issue. I enjoyed that one.
It was definitely good. That one X-Force was.
I was gonna say it was harder with X-Force. You needed both of those issues.
Yeah, that was definitely good.
So, if you've been reading all that other stuff, I don't know that you needed this as much. But if you were just reading Creation and Stasis, then there's a lot of connective tissue you might have needed more of.
So would you consider it's like a lot of those giant size books that came out recently, like the one with Storm, where it was just it was cool. It was like a silent issue where it was like nothing to say. It was just all action.
Oh man, I crapped on that issue too. I was like, Giant Size Storm was a huge disappointment. I was like, Giant Size Storm. I wanted Storm. Storm is my favorite, and man, that issue, I didn't realize that all the giant sizes were connected. You know, you had to read the Emma Frost and Jean Grey one that connected to the Storm one and I was like, okay, they did not put that clearly enough.
Yeah, so interesting.
But the good news is I feel like I'm enjoying the individual issues a ton. So the X-Force stuff, the Marauders stuff, the X-Men stuff. In fact, the X-Men issues have been phenomenal. The last X-Men issue was epic. It was so good. It was basically like the original origin story of Apocalypse. It was really cool.
Nice. Tacoma said he had all the X books pulled out. I'm almost there. I don't know if I'll be able to stick it through after this event. I like Marauders. I like X-Force, but it's just very overwhelming because there's a lot of like indie books that I want to read. You know, I could be putting my money in that direction. You know.
Well, this was my only Marvel book this week. That was it. I didn't get any other Marvel books this week. And I'm a Marvel guy. I'm usually getting like 3 Marvel books a week.
We got Bearded Comic Bro. What's up, dude?
What's up, Bearded Comic Bro? I got this book. I got
what you got?
Books that I just picked up today in another shop. Three Jokers, the last issue. I'll read that now that I have all 3 issues.
It's a huge debate. I heard a lot of people debating that final issue. Did they love it? Did they hate it? It's a wonderful, divisive drama.
Flash.
I heard the same thing.
I'm gonna have to read it quick, so I can just some Venom issues, a couple of Venoms, a couple of Thors.
Yeah, you did, Greg. I mean, I'm not getting hardly anything else. Just the X-Men stuff. The only Batman. Those covers are so good for Batman. The variants.
No, I did grab this one. I don't know why. It just caught my eye.
I want to get that one too, just because of the cover. Honestly, that's an awesome cover, dude.
Yeah, I just think it caught my eye.
I haven't really read a lot of the one shots. I read a couple of them, but that one I definitely want to read.
But like I grabbed this one the other week. Speaking of independence,
ooh,
I just thought it looked cool, so I grabbed it. I guess.
Let me know when you read it. Yeah. He looks like Taskmaster, like Vader, and Grayskull.
Yeah. I picked up another Art Adams cover. I got this one on eBay. Got a pretty good deal on it. I think it was like $12 or $14.
I heard that first issue.
Have you read this?
Was great.
I was just gonna ask, like, is it good? I haven't read any Shang-Chi before, so I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna be. Is it a good series to kind of jump on and kind of read as a new reader? You know.
No, I really only read a couple of issues. Like, I don't even know if I must have read a couple of issues, but mostly I either read like him being in another book, like teaming up with Power Man and Iron Fist, or being in like Marvel Team Up.
That's where I've seen him. I've seen him in Marvel Team Ups.
And I think he had a run in Marvel Comics Presents.
Yeah. I think so too.
But he's he has a cool like premise. It's kind of a very like straightforward kind of. What's up, Matt? 7? We got the Ashton.
Yeah, I think I'm like Kirk. I've never read a single Shang-Chi solo anything.
Yeah, there's definitely like some series I want to like buy trades in.
I think there was a run I liked in probably I don't even know when it came out, but I think Paul Gulacy drew it. It was a little bit more of like almost like a spy espionage kind of slant. I don't know. I remember reading it years ago.
That's interesting that he had some modern books come out. Everybody's saying what's up to each other.
Yep, it's always cool.
What about any indies? Are you guys excited about any indies that are coming out? Is anybody reading what came out this week? It's not Once and Future. Oh, Last Ronin.
That was the book. This was the one that I think like everybody wanted to talk about and everybody wanted to find and everybody wanted to buy.
I didn't realize it was that expensive, dude. $9,
dude. It's a $8.99 right there.
I was going over my budget last night. I was like, crap. That's why I'm spending a little bit more this week.
Yeah. I mean, I was legitimately worried last night for book club because I was like, I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off who want to give this book a 10 out of 10 and call it the greatest book of the year. And I was just like, it's perfectly fine. It's just, I said a 7.5 out of 10. Like it's not the greatest book of the year or even of the week. Like I think the hype machine got so out of control.
I agree.
And I'm really mad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
The size of this book is illogical to me, and I don't know if that. I heard somebody say something like they're trying to make it the same size as the original TMNT books, which were an unusual size because they were self-published. And I just feel, as much as that's a nice homage, I feel like that makes no sense in the era of there's no bags and boards that fit this freaking book.
Yeah,
you can't store it. You can't store it. A magazine-sized bag and board is so big, the book slides all around, and it's going to get banged up to no end. So you can try to fold it and cut it and tape it, but the whole thing is just bizarre. And so here we are. This is a Golden Age bag and board, and it sticks out of the top up here by a little bit, maybe quarter of an inch or whatever, but it's still got a little room on the side, and that was the best I could do, was like a golden and a silver age bag and board. And it's just so it just irks me. There's no logical reason for it. I think it's just silliness. And then of course, the price is this book at $9? Is it worth 2 comics? And I just can't say yes to that. I don't know.
Well, that's I don't know. I mean, I think price of comics is getting kind of to the. I think it's hitting the ceiling of what people are willing to pay. It's getting really pricey if you want to read more than a couple of titles. It's a heck of a commitment.
Yeah,
I agree. I totally agree, dude.
And that one book is worth the trade Philadelphia, basically, which is like.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if you're gonna spend as much as you can for like the first trade of a series, and a lot of first trades are like $9.99, and you get 4 to 6 issues, maybe. Plus, I don't know. I just remember comics being so much denser in terms of everything, but. So like an issue reads like I just feel like I read an issue really quick.
Oh yeah,
and it's
this one has almost no dialogue. It's almost all action, so it reads really quick.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wonder, like
again, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I want to read the next issue, although thankfully, apparently, I have to wait 3 months to get the next issue.
For what?
Last Ronin, the next issue drops in December, so it's October to December, and then the one after that, somebody said the one after that is like February, and then the one after that is May, something like that. So it's scattered across from now until May. We will be getting the 5 issues of Last Ronin.
Nice. I know Matt was talking about Kanto.
I did not. I forgot to grab Kanto this week, so I'm going to have to go back. I hear that it's an amazing issue.
Yeah. Oh, the issue number, was it 4 or 3 came out this week?
3.
Okay. I don't think I have it on. Thank you for reminding me.
I hear that it's a powerful, powerful issue, but I've kind of moved. I think I'm ready to move Kanto to like trade reading.
Cause you can, I get it. You can't get everything. At one point, you're gonna have
my girls enjoy it. I want them to be able to read it. I'm not going to give them the individual issues usually, so a trade solves all the problems and we save the money.
Yeah.
Fits on a shelf.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get back and get into trade reading. I know I'm reading the trades of the boys right now. My roommate, she has all of them, so I've been reading that. Can't see John's face.
That's an epic list. Seriously.
Yeah, I heard great things about Wind. Definitely.
I read the first 2 issues of that, and I know people loved it. I did not get as much into it, but I know a lot of people love Wind.
Yeah, Undiscovered Country is one of my favorites. Definitely in my top 5. I'm about to read Philadelphia. Hold on, let me make myself big real quick. My buddy a while back, he AOK'd me the second Prince, which, hey, I'm not tripping. I'm glad to have him. So this is definitely gonna be on my read for Halloween. I haven't read it yet because I'm just still trying to catch up on my pull from last week.
Have you read the first trade?
No, I haven't. But this is cool because it's covered.
Oh yeah, that is the first trade. There you go. Yeah.
It basically is the first trade.
I really enjoyed the first trade, and I'll probably get the second trade. I have issue 1, but that's kind of been my image thing: is buy issue 1 and then read the trades.
Of course, I had to get the Scotty Young cover. Yeah, I really am trying to build that as a habit. Hold on, let me. Oh, there we go. It's hard because it's like, oh, what up, Sanimation for the nation? What's up, Sanimation? How you doing? Yeah, there's so many great series that are out that I want to read. Oh, what's up, Stevie B Komicz? What's going on, dude? Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I mean, with indies, I feel like you want to get into the story before you know if you want to read a trade. But so issue number 1s have got to be, amazing if I'm going to keep getting issues 2, 3, 4, and 5. If they're curious, if they've got enough to hook me, I might say, you know what, I'm going to wait and just read it in a trade, and then decide, do I want a second volume? Especially with Image, where it's $9 for a trade. It's the cost of the last Ronin, and I can get the first time of that, and then decide how I really feel about it.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that with like the older. What were we saying, Todd?
No, it makes sense as well. I just said it makes sense to like.
Yeah.
The number 1 is like a tryout, and if you like it, if you knocks your socks off, you get the issue 2. But if not, wait for a trade.
Yeah.
Well, with book club too, like every week, Alec is always like, "Hey, try this indie." And so I read a ton of indie number 1s now, way more than I ever used to. And so I get real picky on the ones that I keep reading. And, last year it was almost all the Boom Studios stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm still on Once and Future, Something's Killing the Children. I did the full run of Alienated. So a lot of those I've been continuing. But Image the last year, I've only had 1 or 2 that I kept with beyond issue 1. I think it was Middle West and Die are the only ones that I kept with beyond issue 1. After that, the others I was just like, I'll buy the trade.
Sorry. I had to do it.
Well played, Greg. Well played.
Yeah, I heard really great things about Alienated. I definitely need to buy that in trade. It's on my, and then Something's Killing the Children. I want all those individual covers.
I got a lot of my Boom Studios on the wall here, and that there it's right. Let's see, that's there it is. That's Alienated issue 2 right there. Well, I really enjoyed it. I will say the final issue might have been the weakest one, which is kind of a bummer. But it was. But that's not a real burn, considering issues 3 and 4 were 2 of the best issues I read this last year. So I don't know. It's not really a slam on the book too much. I just wanted it to like. At that point, I was so invested. I was like, "You guys got to stick this landing. You just got to stick this landing." And it was a good ending. It just wasn't a great ending.
What about King of Nowhere? Did you read that? I heard that was like a pretty good little mini.
Which one?
Because what is 5 series? King of Nowhere. And I'm hearing a lot of comparisons to Stillwater to King of Nowhere.
I didn't read it.
Huh. Interesting. Did you were you able to read Stillwater though? Stillwater.
No, I didn't. I missed Stillwater. Yeah, I think I was looking at a couple of books that week, and I had a huge list, so I was kind of like, this one, Stillwater didn't make the cut. But I hear it was great.
Yeah, cover. I jumped on it last week. I ended up grabbing issue 1 and 2. It was great. I like the read, but like I said, I keep getting a lot of comparisons to King of Nowhere. My buddy's gonna A-OK that series to me, so I'm just gonna wait until I get it so I can read it. Oh, what is up, comic book poser? Where is he at? There he is. Boom. You ain't late. You on time. You're supposed to come late to the party, man. Everybody greeting each other. Bearded Comic Bro said Stillwater was pretty good so far.
Yeah, I think I have a number 1 in my box somewhere. I didn't get a chance to read it though, but I buy so many that I intend to read, and then time gets away, and
I'm already knowing, dude. I have a stack of books. I have like my pull list read pile, and then I have a pile of books that people have given me to read, or books that I've just like bought in back issue that I got to read. And it's just like, which one do I tackle first?
Yeah, it's impossible.
Always, definitely always have something to read. Never fails, which is good.
And you got all those paperbacks that you got to read too. That collection.
I'm always reading something.
I just bought this one because I've never read Sandman in my life, so I got the first volume. I think so. This is the first 8.
Oh no!
We just lost there.
It's the first.
That was my fault, Ron.
It's the first 8 issues, and Amazon had it for like $15, and I was like, "Yeah, it's a good deal." And I knew that some friends of mine, Comic Chop News Dan, and Comic Books Will Break Your Heart Jennifer, were saying that they wanted to read this for the month of November. And I said, I've never read Sandman, and they've been trying to get me to read Sandman forever. So I thought, what, I'll give the first volume a shot with people who love it and really hear it from their perspective.
Yeah, my roommate, she has one of the trades, and once I finish The Boys, I'm gonna read that. But I've always heard great things about it. And are they gonna make a TV show out of it now? I
don't know.
I might have heard something, but I definitely read. Sandman's a good read. I've read pretty much the whole thing. I think.
Nice.
It's like the full run, not like all the anything extra they've added or specials or miniseries or whatever. But
the only thing at one point we did a book club where Alec wanted me to read this like Death, the High Cost of Living miniseries, all about.
Yeah. Remember we did that,
which is like adjacent to it. So like that was like okay, yeah, but like I've never read Sandman itself.
Yeah, her first appearance.
Yeah,
probably in that trade issue 8.
It is. Yeah, it is because I bought that issue. I have that issue. I've just never read it.
What's up, Corey Vidal?
So there you go, Gore Vidal. I know you've been telling me to read this. There it is. So just know it's coming.
Yeah, same here. Lost in Comics. I got to read some too.
Yeah, same here.
Great thing. Oh, what volume am I on? I'm almost finished with the 3rd volume, and I'm still like, holy crap! There's so much they could have done with the TV show. But yeah, it's funny because going back and watching the episodes and after reading the books, they leave a lot of Easter eggs of the comic books in the TV show. Have any of you guys watched any of the Boys TV show?
Oh yeah, I've watched the show. I've just never read the comic.
Okay. Yeah, the comic book is way more extreme. I remember
reading The Boys when it first came out. It was pretty cool. It was pretty well received. Like when it first came out. Derek Robertson had a pretty good following from Metropolitan. R-Wise.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool to read that book. I mean, I probably read like the first 5 or 10 issues, as it was coming out and lost track of it somewhere. Has happened so often.
It's somewhere in that big old collection of yours, dude. It's either in storage or it's in the garage.
Somewhere, but I'm enjoying the show a lot.
Have they put out a new episode? I don't even know.
I think they put out however many they're putting out, because one's called like the finale or something. I don't know.
I don't think I watched the finale. I gotta ask my roommates because I know we've been watching it.
I mean, the show has been amazing. Like my wife and I love it, and it's the boys has just been amazing. But and my LCS owner said the same thing you're saying, Kirk, which is that like the show is like nowhere as intense and as raw as the book.
I just like looking at Huey in the show and like looking at him in the comic book. It's just like, it's just like night and day, and it's just because one of the biggest things that I wish they would have put into the show, which I kind of understand why they didn't do it, but I still wish it was there. It's just like the fact that they didn't, they had. Well, if you've seen season 1, then it's not spoiler, but it's the fact that they don't take Compound V. Like in the comic book, it's a whole different thing. Like they take Compound V in the comic book, like, and so they have like superpowers. But you don't see that in the TV show, and I kind of like, oh, that would have been cool. But I understand because CGI and all that stuff, and it probably would be a way more expensive to create. But I definitely like the show. I love Homelander. He is like. He's really deranged. I like character. I like psychotic characters, and they nailed him on. They did a perfect job with him.
He is creepy as heck, man.
Yes. The second season is over. Okay, cool. I definitely got to watch that last episode. The Black Monday Murders. Any of you read? I haven't read it.
Yeah, I've heard of it and heard good things, but I have not read it.
Gore Vidal has read it, said it was excellent. I've never heard of it. I'm gonna have to look into it. Is it who? I wonder who prints it.
I don't know that I remember. I want to say Gore has mentioned it to me before and told me about it.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of it. What about you? Have you ever heard of it, Todd?
No, I haven't.
Money Murder? Yeah.
Is it like
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Or a comic? Is it like a graphic novel or a comic or?
Animation or Gore Vidal? Let us know. Like, is it a graphic novel? Is it like a first issue that just came out? I'd be interested to know. I'm definitely waiting for some of these Disney Plus shows to start. I kind of want to see more of like the Marvel stuff. I know the Mandalorian is coming out.
Yeah,
season 2. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
I gotta get my brother's password to Disney Plus. I haven't seen season 1. I'll admit it. So I'll definitely be binging season 1, and then I'll jump on. They put it on. They put it out one episode at a time, right?
I think they've been doing it the more traditional route, one a week.
Yeah, which I like because I know like Hulu does that too. It kind of like gives a little homage to television.
There's a few that still do it that way for sure.
Because like television and radio are definitely like the dying breed now, which is surreal to think about. Because I'm sure people that were listening to radio.
I watched a couple.
Think the same thing
of that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Watched a couple. No problem. I watched a couple episodes of the Hellstrom show.
How was it? Oh my gosh, I want to watch it.
It's.
Is it worth it?
I don't know. I was a little disappointed. I guess it was like it's not awful. It's not like awful or anything. And I just some of it comes off a little, I guess, corny or little cheese. It's just a little cheese. I don't know. I guess it's not like I don't know if it's handled in the best way. But it's not it's the show's not awful. It's just it's a little like I think it's like some of like Hellstrom's lines are just a little like maybe they're trying to find the character or something, but they just seem a little I don't know.
I haven't read any of the Hailstorm books. I know he's a pretty interesting character. I like him in Strange Academy, but yeah, I know they've been promoting that like crazy on Hulu, and I've been seeing the trailer constantly. But I wasn't sure if it was like worth picking it up. I think I have his first appearance from Ghost Rider.
There's a part in the trailer where there's like a swirl on the wall, and Donnie Cates he tweeted it, and it looks like what's his name? No, the little spiral thing.
Way. That's
so
awesome.
Supposed to be an Easter egg in the show.
That is hilarious. Now I gotta watch it.
It's probably there for like half a second or something.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch an episode tonight because it's been on my eye. I wasn't sure until I heard from other people. But I'll definitely give it a chance.
I mean, Satana, the sister's pretty cool. I think they did a better job of her character than him, honestly. But we'll see. I've only watched like a couple of episodes, so you never know. Sometimes things take a couple episodes to take shape.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes I'll watch episode 1 and I was like, what the hell is this? It was like that for me with like Flash. I had to get into it. And I kind of avoided like a lot of the CW shows just in general, but Flash was pretty good. I'm on season 2 right now. It's like I can't complain. I heard it goes downhill after the season 2, but I'll be able to get through it. Oh, good night, Matt. See you later, brother.
Good night.
Go read the last one. I haven't read it. I'm gonna read it tomorrow. Gore Vidal was saying this week, along with The Last God, I enjoyed the conclusion of the. We were just talking about that earlier. I heard a lot of people saying that they concluded this one really well, even though the second one, I heard a lot of people were talking about issue 2 was like garbage. Or it wasn't. At least the story didn't seem too. I thought it was all right, but I guess a lot of people didn't like the story too much. What about you? John, I know you haven't read it, Todd. You're waiting for the whole.
Yeah, I just got the last issue.
You're probably going to read that tonight.
I read issue 1. We did that on book club, and I just felt like it was interesting, but had a bunch of plot holes that I didn't really care for, and the artwork was the best part about it. Like Fabric, the guy doing 3 Jokers is amazing. Obviously, super talented. I just felt like there was a lot of leaps in logic. I'm still bothered by the fact in the issue 1 that they the Joker shark that swims through the aquarium. It completely defies all logic, and nobody's like they're underwater in the aquarium, like looking at the glass, and the Joker shark is coming, and they shoot the glass, and the water pours in, and the next panel there's no water. The water's gone, and the shark eats a guy, but they're not drowning they should be underwater, but like the water's gone. And it's like that kind of crap just irks me. Like I can't like.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even peep that when I read it.
It should have been a cool. I was expecting a cool underwater Joker shark fight, and it was like because they were like it was like floor to ceiling glass, and it was all water. Like, and they're in this little room. Like it should legit flood. Like they should be all underwater. But it's like, nah, we're just gonna make the water advance. They got drains.
Sounds like writers who don't understand science.
So that irked me enough to say, maybe I'll read the whole thing later, but I'm not interested in this enough for right now.
Gotcha. I did not know that they came out with the Power Ranger one shot. The only Power Ranger books that I've been interested in is the TMNT team up. I've heard good things about like what is it, the Power, not Power Grid, or the Grid something. Correct me if in the chat if I can't remember which one it is, but I heard that one in trade is pretty good. The Power Rangers series. I'll check out the one shot, even though I'm already looking at my pocket and kind of like I don't know if I can budget that many books. Especially finding out like that last one. What's up?
I got a couple other books to show you, man. I got some Furies in.
Oh, that's nice.
Number 2. And I got 3. This
look at that.
That is awesome, dude.
Wow.
Is
this all Steranko?
Those first one. This one isn't.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
When did you pick these up?
This isn't either. These were in that lot of books I got from that my buddy grabbed me from that one place.
No, the one you got the Marvel Star Wars ones from.
Yeah. I only got like.
Those are still pretty good books, though.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I mean, I got.
They're so cool. Oh,
nice. Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't get a 2, but a 3. Well, this is a 2. This is a 2, but it's like some kind of funky reprint or something.
Oh yeah.
But
that's nice.
3.
Oh, I love that one.
4.
I mean,
5.
3 might be one of my favorite pieces in the whole Star Wars first volume.
And 10. 3.
I know Cookie.
I'll tell you, I got a whole new love for that series when I was listening to Howard Chaykin talk, because that guy's freaking amazing and hilarious.
I met him at a con once. He's a pretty cool.
He is a character, man. So like. People were trying to tell me what he was like before he came around to the Comic Core booth in Baltimore, and I was just running the camera. So I'm like, I'll do the camera work and I'll click go live and I'll do all the little like stuff, and you guys can do this interview. And I'm sitting on the floor with the laptop just watching the interview, and I'm like trying not to laugh so loud that my voice is on the mic because this guy is hilarious. And he even says, like, everybody tells me I'm funny, but I just tell the truth, and nobody's used to hearing it. he just runs. Yeah, he's just like this little old grandpa, and he just runs his mouth about everything, and he is just a freaking riot. I was like, I instantly want to read more Howard Chaykin stuff just to be in this guy's world.
I remember reading American Flag when I was a kid. In the 80s, that was a pretty cool book.
Was that a Marvel or what was that?
No, that was Howard Chaykin's book. In the 80s, American Flag, it was like an independent comic. I think Dark Horse published it for a while.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, and then
I think I've heard of it.
Another cool series he did in the 80s was he brought back The Shadow.
Okay.
Interesting.
So he had like a 4-issue miniseries, and
Nice.
then they relaunched it with I think the Sienkiewicz cover.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if he was the one that teamed it with Sienkiewicz, but I guess it was after.
Nice. I think that came after.
Because I've seen those covers. I know Lady Fantastic has a lot of those Bill Sienkiewicz shadow covers, and those are awesome.
It's hard to go wrong with the Bill Sienkiewicz stuff. I've been getting slowly I've been getting his New Mutants run. And it's just so many beautiful pieces. I think the New Mutants run gets a lot of crap for how it finished, but like I genuinely think it's a pretty cool 100 issue run.
I agree. I definitely agree.
And that Sienkiewicz stuff is a huge piece of it.
That was one of my like favorite books that I read like for a good from like the early issues all the way through the end. Till it became X-Force, but that period, like, it's funny. The first like chunk of New Mutants, like the first ones by like with the art by Bob McLeod, have such a classic Marvel like. What's up, Biggie?
What's up, Biggie?
The classic Marvel like art style, and then there's such a departure.
What
nice. You had those like right next to you? Are you serious?
right here, brother.
Listen, I have both those books. I have the ones I bought off the comic racks.
Oh,
awesome. What's up, Sleepy Reader?
I'll tell you, I had my new. I started collecting a little too late to get an 87, which bothered me for my entire collecting career until this last year, because I loved Cable. I thought he was a cool character, and then I wanted to buy some other books, so I sold my New Mutants 98, the one that I originally bought, and I'm still convinced it was a 9.6 on a bad day. Like it was a really nice copy, but I sold it and I got a bunch of other stuff for it. And then I got the chance to buy this copy from 4ickal Komicz, and he had 87 too. And he's like, you know what? I don't collect New Mutants. I don't know what I even bought this for. And he gave me, I got New Mutants 1, 87, and 98. And he's like, they were all slabbed, but they were like old CGC slabs, which means they can be pressed and cleaned and bumped up. So I just got these. The reason they're sitting right next to me is because I just got them from my presser and cleaner, because I'm going for the grade bump on those two to see if it works out.
Nice. Who do you go to get yours pressed and cleaned? Do you have a person in your area, or do you send someone?
He's actually closer to you. He's just outside Reno. And I'll send you his link on Instagram. He goes by Andrew's Comics and Dogs. And I've sent him almost 50 books, and he's always done really good work. The drawback is obviously he's getting popular and he's just super busy and he's got another job that he does on. So I know in this last, I had to wait almost, a handful of months, especially with COVID. It took a lot longer. But I've never been disappointed. He's always really helpful at talking me through, like, I think this book's not going to press to the level you want. So I sent him this is the kind of guy he is. I sent him Venom 3 in my first round. I had bought it off the shelf, and I had read it twice. And I'm like, I've read it twice. Maybe it'll be a 9.6. He gets it, and he looks at it, and he says, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to press it. I'm not going to clean it, and I'm not going to charge you for it. This is a 9.8. It's the best copy of this book I've ever touched. And he was totally right. It came back at 9.8. It was like a beautiful copy. I sent it in, and he's like, and he didn't charge me. He didn't. He took it out, looked at it. He said, "It's beautiful. Don't do anything to it. Just send it." And I was like, "That's how you make a customer for life, right there."
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I only know a couple people in the community that press and clean. But I definitely want to, like I said before, I send them to the CGC. I know it's usually cheaper to go through somebody than going through them.
And it's faster. The CGC clean and press process is extra slow. In some cases, it adds like 3 months onto what your plan was.
Crazy.
Just because they don't do it in house. They get the books and then they send them to this other place, and then they do that and they send them back to the CGC, and then they get in the queue at CGC for the the whole thing is like it's an endless cycle. But
okay,
I'm going to send you his info right now.
Yeah, thank you. I know I follow. There's a dude on IG, comic book billionaires. He's an awesome dude, and he. I always watch him because you send him a book and he'll literally show the process on his IG of like cleaning it, and he does a really good job, especially like with older like Silver Age books. Like he's on point.
Now, I will say the oldest book I sent him was a Hulk 180. So I haven't sent him any Silver Age stuff. But I would trust him with any of it. This last round, I had just purchased a 180 in the last year, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, it looks like at least an 8. So I sent that to him, and I sent a Nova 1, which is in the 70s as well. But those are the oldest books I've sent to him so far.
Yeah, I know. I want to get Spider-Man 33 cleaned and pressed. It's not in the greatest condition, but it can definitely use a little clean. And I would like to see what it, what
Well,
kind of.
he's
I don't
really
want
good. He's good about posting
ahead.
before and after stuff. So you can
Nice.
go and you can look through his Instagram and see what a book he's got. All of my books are on there, and you can see, and he tags me right underneath. He'll say, "Hey, these books are for John," and you'll see like She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk 1 but when he got it, and you can see with the wrinkles on the cover, and then like the after, and you see how smooth it looks. So you can at least get a sense of like what he can fix and what he can't fix.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Have any of you guys ever thought about like pressing and cleaning, or have you ever done it before? What's up, Mr. White Gloves in the house? What's up,
White
dude?
Gloves. Good to see you. I've thought about it, but I haven't really ever done it. I don't know. I haven't gotten that many books submitted. I haven't submitted that many books that like it became, anything that was a necessity or.
Yeah.
Most of what I'm getting pressed and cleaned is for other people. Like, in truth, I own very few slabs for me. I'm a raw collector primarily, but there's been a few occasions where I bought like a lot of books from somebody, and it was like, oh, I got a ton of books that I don't want, like a Nova #1. I'm not a Nova collector. I know that book is hot, and I know people want it. So I want it to look the best it can look so that I can send it to somebody who feels like they got their money's worth for the book. So I only have it's funny. I think my daughters have more 9/8 than I do.
That's hilarious.
They've been gifted, I think, 4 9/8 from various people who are just incredibly kind. And they were like, oh, your daughter loves Archie, and I've got this 9/8 fun Archie cover. And they sent it. Comic Books NYC sent them a 9/8, and I was like, "This is amazing." I like 9/8s too, buddy. By the way, and so like I think I own 2 9/8s that are mine, but most of the time I just want to own a book. I don't really care what the grade is or need it to be protected. So, for me, like most of what I'm slabbing, only a handful of them are for me. Most of them are for later on when that book pops, I can sell it and say, this is definitely an 8.0. I got it pressed and cleaned and slabbed, and here it is.
Gotcha.
That's nice. That's kind of what I want to do too. I ran into a couple of books like The Origin of Loki. Like I would love to get that pressed and cleaned and slabbed because it's not a book that I want. It's just a book that I came across, and I'm just like, might as well just sell it and make some money and buy a book that I want, But I definitely am just like I collect to read. So all the slabs, like every single slab that I have was A-okay to me, or I won, and then one of them I won in a contest. So it's like I'm not going out there getting CGC books every day, but it's definitely something that I'm curious about. I just want to see the process and go through it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't try to collect it. I probably have like 100 slabs, give or take.
Yeah, a lot of them, dude.
I have way more raw books than I have slabs. There's no comparison.
True.
I have 3 short boxes where they're in sideways, so it's not like a normal amount. But I would say at least one full short box is stuff I'm going to sell that I know I'm not going to keep. So like most of it is like, let's move it. Stuff like I don't love Beta Ray Bill. So when he pops, I'm going to sell his first appearance. I got it. I'm waiting, and I'll just sell it.
That's hilarious. You're not the only person I've heard that they don't like Beta Ray Bill.
I like Thor, and I certainly love the Jason Aaron run more than anything. I mean, I just adore those issues. Hashtag
you're not into it.
But for me, like I have not fallen in love with the Simonson run that a lot of people have, which is where you get your Beta Ray Bills. And I bought 2 Christmases ago, a buddy of mine was selling a chunk of his collection, and he gave me a bulk price, and I just bought a bunch of stuff. Now, like half the books are books I really wanted for me.
Right.
First appearances of Dark Side and stuff like that I was like, oh, I love this character, so cool. And then other stuff was, a slab of Beta Ray Bill, and I'm like, I know that I'm getting a great deal on this book, so I'm not gonna frown at it, but I will pass it on to somebody who really loves it, and then use that money to get whatever I really want.
Yeah, just like my Spider-Man 37. Like I think it's a cool book, but I don't need first Norman Osborn in my collection. I'm not like a completionist when it comes to Spider-Man. There's only certain books that I want, like 41 First Rhino. I just love that cover. That's an awesome cover.
That's a cool cover.
Well, being a completionist on ASM is a painful proposition, I have a feeling.
Totally agree.
Yeah, that's a tall order on any like character that's been long, and it's just, it's not impossible, but it's probably unattainable for a whole lot of people.
I thought the getting the Claremont run of Uncanny X-Men was going to be unattainable for me, but I had it as a goal for me for as long as I've been collecting.
Yeah,
I never thought I'd achieve it, and I'm so glad that I did. But I also was smart enough not to want issue 1 through 93.
I could tell you, I've always, when I was a kid, I remember looking up all the prices for like X Giant Size and X-Men 94 to like, I don't know, it's probably like 150 at that time.
Yeah,
and it was something like $1,200 or $1,400, and I was like, bah, I'll never be able to spend that much to get that. I was a kid. I was like,
yeah,
but I wanted those issues, and I don't have all of them, but I think I have all the big ones.
What's you got me thinking, Todd. What's the how when you were a kid and you went into the shop and you saw the wall books, there were certain wall books that stuck with you, right? You saw that wall book and you're like, God dang, I would love that book.
The first store I ever shopped at was a shop called Komicz. It was in Long Beach, New York, and he didn't really actually have wall books, but he had a showcase.
Okay.
And I can remember he had a Cap 100 in that showcase, and it was a whopping $12. And I was like, always just out of my price range.
That's crazy.
That is a great one.
Justice League of America number, I think it's 6. The one we're on that, they're all on that wheel.
Yes.
The blue cover, and they're on the wheel. I think that was like a $30 or a $40 book.
This is legit, and I will tell you, Splash.
Yeah,
no,
definitely.
Are you serious?
That was the hot book in the 80s. The reason I bought an X-Men 94 way before I bought a Giant Size is because that was always the book. That was like until the last like 10 years or 15 years, like this was the book. And this was the first time the new team was in the official run. Everybody treated Giant Size X-Men like an annual. Like it was just like, I think it's just the older like collecting paradigm that it wasn't in the run. It wasn't as important,
right?
And
I went out of my way to get 94. It meant a ton to me to get that book, only to find out later on that everybody was like going to blow that book up, and that was the
I'm lucky. I got in at the Giant Size X-Men right at the best time I could. I think from that point on, because that book's done nothing but.
I know it's definitely out of my price range now.
I bought an 8.0, and it's probably more than doubled in price.
Oh yeah,
based on what I paid for it. And
yeah,
crazy.
Well, then, Kirk, so okay, that was firstly those are amazing answers. So Kirk, for you, when you think of the wall books that you first saw when you went into shop, what were some of the ones that stuck with you as like, wow, I wish I could own that book?
See, and it's different for me because I hadn't been collecting like when I was a little kid, like you guys. But like when I first started collecting, definitely like a lot of like the old school adventure books. I would always go into my shop and like it had like a bunch of like the old ones. Like they had first King the Conqueror before it shot up in price, and I could have got that book for like $100, and it's just like, no. Now it's like a very expensive book, but like like you said, Todd, it'll eventually go down in price in a couple of years. After
I know that you are a big fan. My Grail soul brother on this book,
Simon Williams.
So yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Mine. I'm gonna pull it. Mine are like super reasonably priced now. The books that when I went into shops, it was Frank Miller was like all the jam when I was a kid going into comic shops.
Yeah, I used to save up like $9 for an issue of Frank Miller Daredevil.
Really?
It was steep. Yeah, it was steep, but I would save up my $9 and get them.
So these were the two for me that were the ones, and when I bought them, I was so pumped to have these, but they're not like incredibly valuable. And then I took them to Baltimore because I knew that Klaus Janson would be there, and he basically drew these issues. I know Frank Miller gets the art credit, but Klaus really did the issues because they were doing 2 Daredevil issues a month, and all the writing and art was done by Frank Miller, and that's just not possible. Yeah.
Nice! I want that
Freaking love this cover. I thought like, oh my god, it's like bloody and like there's a machine gun. I was like, this is freaking amazing. Yes, I saw this on a wall and I was like, come on. What? There's like blood shooting out of his back. He just gut shot Daredevil. What?
Exit wound in a comic book.
Uzi? Like this is insane.
Come on, if it had an Uzi in the 80s, it was pretty awesome.
Right? And then this Dirty Harry.
I want that one too. Oh my god.
The bright yellow and the giant gun, and Daredevil never would use a gun. And these were legit the books that I went into my LCSs, and I'd be like seeing these on the wall all the time. And I was like, dang, I need to get those books.
Nice.
There was other books that were on other walls of other comic shops that I coveted as well.
Yeah.
When I was in when I was in 6th grade and my family moved to Florida, a comic shop opened up. Well, it was a baseball card store really that opened up across the street from my middle school in the Winn-Dixie shopping plaza thing, and they started bringing in comics one day, and they put 4 comics up on the wall, and it was Fantastic Four #1, Tales to Astonish, I think was it 27, the one when he's in the school with the ants, the first Ant-Man, and they had the first Legion of the Superheroes, the one where they're in front of the that big judgment, whatever, the panel or whatever. And then he had Superboy 1.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, those were the only 4 comics he had. And I was like, are you going to get comics? Because I was buying baseball cards at that point, but I was really just nostalgic for the comics. And I was really ready to hang out my card collecting hat. And he started getting comics, but it was funny. He started getting them from like a newsstand distributor at first.
That's hilarious.
And then after they sold for a while, he went and got direct market with one of the distributors.
Nice. That's awesome.
But like that Captain America 100, that's probably I have like a 7.0, I think, in my collection.
I want that book. That's a great cover.
That's probably like one of my earliest that I would see on a regular basis, and because I'd always have like $3 or $4, and I'd spend like 4 or 5 hours, like figuring out what like half a dozen comics or whatever to get. It was less about like new comic day then, and like anytime, more like anytime I could scrounge $3 or $4 or $5 on a really super great day, you know, and jump on my bike and go to the comic store. It was where I was like,
as a kid, holding together $12 over a course of time was like impossible.
Dude, when the guy opened the store, this is how I met the guy. I was like 8 years old in 3rd grade, right? I call him. I'm like, "Do you have G.I. Joe number 2?" Because I had a number 1. I had bought issue 29. I saw a commercial on TV and I bought 29, and then I found 28 on a newsstand, and then I bought one. It had a water stain for like $4 at a flea market, and I wanted number 2. And he's like, "That's an expensive book." I'm like, "Well, how much is it?" He's like, "It's $7.50. I'm like, "Okay." And I go and I start going through every like purse that my mom had or anything in the closet that might have changed. And I had this like set, and I found $7.50, and I had it in a plastic bag. And my mom actually took me to the comic store. I'm like, "Actually, let me keep my change," and just paid the man.
That's freaking amazing.
That's awesome, dude.
That is an amazing story.
I was pretty dedicated. It was a pretty triumphant like book I got. But
those are the memories, right? Those first books that you like put your own money into. I mean, I remember getting some of those early Wolverine versus Sabretooth fights and feeling like I had just bought a grail. You know, those covers when it was uncanny and it was like
sure.
You know, scratched. I think it was like issues 206, 207, and then later 213 and 214. Like these significant Wolverine, and I was like into mutants, and Sabretooth and Wolverine was cool, and they were again bloody covers. You know, I was like into that stuff, and like it was a big deal buying those books, and I wasn't buying them off the shelf. I was buying them like a few months later, and they had gone up, and they were all maybe they were $5, and it was not like a 75-cent book, and it was like a big deal because my mom would happily give me $3 and I could go to the comic book shop, and they were all
it was like a reasonable
75 cents.
They were, I'm telling you, they were like, when I started collecting, they were 60 cents. So if I had $3, I could get 5 books, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So that was like, and if I had like an extra $1, I might get another book and then stop at like the candy store.
Yeah.
And have something, have a snack while I was reading.
Well, I was the only one of my brothers into comic books, so we would only rarely go to the comic shop. And when we went, I wanted like $1,000. I wanted to buy everything, so it was like my mom had to rein me in when we would go. But when we visited my grandmother, she had a Circle K, so she had a cabin in Arizona in the woods, and but you could walk to the Circle K, and the Circle K had the spinner rack. And I would legitimately go almost every day to buy a new book and hope that they had gotten restocked that day and got new stuff. And
see, I was lucky, like before the comic store even opened up, there were like 2 stores, like it was like 3 blocks in one direction, and it was like a big 2-way avenue. And there was like a candy shop that had a newsstand, and then there was like another like convenience store that had a newsstand, and they both had comics.
Yeah.
So like I had the comic store, and then I also had 2 like backup comic like.
I don't remember if those were Alan Davis issues, Gore. I mean, I know I want to say it was issue 207 stands out in my mind as a Wolverine Sabretooth cover, and then then it was the Mutants Marauders Massacre that was like issues 2. It was like in the teens. It was like 214 or something, 213.
I know which ones you mean. Yeah.
With these, I mean, at one point in the Marauders Massacre, it was like 3 issues of Wolverine versus Sabretooth in a row. And it was like it started at the end of one issue, and then it was all of another issue, and then it concluded in the final part of the 3rd issue.
That's animations.
Nice animation. Have a good day at work.
But yeah, Biggie said he misses the spinners. Shops need to bring those back. Yeah.
There's actually a place, I can't remember who is selling it, right? Who's selling spinner racks now?
They actually made them to actually fit slaps too.
Yeah.
No
'Cause I know
way,
that-
really?
Yeah, two brothers at Comics has one now in the
Oh, Nick
background
and
of
Dustin,
their
that's
shop.
awesome.
And so they got one recently. So if you ask Dustin and Nick, they'll tell you where to get a spinner rack. But I don't know if it's a thing that they ship or if it's they bought it directly from a shop. I don't know.
I think they ship. It's probably expensive to ship, but they probably ship to you,
Yeah,
and you have to put it together. You probably have to put it
that's
on
what I
top
figured.
or something.
It's the IKEA version.
No, don't bring up IKEA. So many bad memories of IKEA. I'm claustrophobic. I don't like being in closed spaces, and IKEA definitely it gets closed after a while. So many people.
Follow the arrows. If you go
Yeah.
along,
Don't tell me where to walk.
there's always shortcuts. If you go through like their little displays, you can like shortcut around.
You can cut the corner.
That's
You
hilarious.
don't have to look at all that nonsense.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love
Whitman
the
3-packs.
I love the kind of 3-packs. I have one old 3-pack. It's like a King Comics, or it's like Flash Gordon and Mandrake, and it's like $29.
Oh, nice. That's hilarious. I don't have any Whitman comics. I don't have any. What are the popular ones? Not Whitman, but those other military comics.
Oh, the Mark Jewelers.
Mark Jewelers, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't think I've glanced through my books and I haven't seen any of them.
I get people like them. Personally, it's not a big deal to me. I mean, I'll sell them if people want them, but yeah, no.
I love Firestorm.
Go to multiple newsstands because they never had the same thing. Some of them would have an issue that might be 2 months old, 3 months old.
Ooh, $400 for a spinner rack. Wow.
What's up, Rob?
Yeah,
Oh my God, are you serious?
It's something like that. Yeah, it's like 3 and change.
Yeah, I'd rather buy a Grail. I'll buy a Grail for that instead.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how much do you think they spent on a spinner rack they stuck in a 7-Eleven? It could not have been that expensive.
I know.
Why does it take, like, with today's technology, the spinner rack is like a luxury item?
Well, and I will say, like, having worked at like certain retail stores like Hollywood Video, like some of that stuff is like part and parcel with buying certain product. So like you buy a certain number of DVDs of Lord of the Rings and they send you a spinner rack with the Lord of the Rings, info on it. Like,
oh wow.
Like sometimes it was like, you buy our product, enough of it, we will give you the display for it. And it was the spinner rack was just the display. It was not like a thing that you paid out of pocket as the retail store to own.
That makes more sense, But I guess it's $400 because you're paying for nostalgia.
Absolutely, unless you're Bueller and you climb under somebody's house and just pull it out.
I was just about to say that he has like his OG original like spinner rack.
That is one of the great comic book YouTube stories ever. And if you
I know, I agree.
Oh my God. Just go to Bueller's channel. I bet he has a spinner rack playlist where he breaks it down. That is one of the great comic book YouTube stories.
I definitely remember him talking about it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I bought my 70 spinner rack for $100 and found the 50 spinner for free. That's awesome, dude.
They're out there. They're just not few and far between, but you gotta keep looking. Hopefully, you get lucky one day.
Been watching in the background, getting ready for bed. Appreciate it, Rob. Thank you for stopping by, dude. 60 to 120 in the 90s. Jeez. Still pretty pricey for me.
That's a smart move, Biggie. That's a smart move.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why I don't have a brand new spinner rack. Because, darn it, I want one. I have one in my classroom. It's like a half book that somebody gave me. It's got like pegs on the bottom. So I have like graphic novels on the top.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hilarious.
Oh man. Well, we're getting to the close to the hour. I don't know if you guys want to keep on going. I'm definitely down if you guys are, but we can start wrapping up if you guys are
I got a bit of a long day tomorrow. I might be nearing the end, but you guys can keep going. It's fine if you guys got more to do.
I got one more book to show. Really?
Oh, nice.
So, whatever you guys want to do, I'm fine.
Yeah, you guys can keep rolling. I got flu shots and staff tomorrow, so
it's all good, dude.
I want to thank you guys for letting me join the teachers lounge tonight. You guys, I love the show. It's the show I watch in bed with the earplugs in, and I can just chill and so you guys rock, and thanks for having me, man.
Definitely, thanks.
Yeah, we appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, man. I'll catch you guys later.
Take care.
Peace out, John. What you got to show? Let's see. Ooh, hold on. Let me make you big. That is awesome, dude.
Nice. Alice Cooper, Marvel Premiere 50.
Was that in that collection that you picked up?
Yeah, in that group of books. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then this was one other book I picked up. Kiss and Vampirella. I just thought it looked kind of cool.
Wait, are you? When did this come out? This is awesome.
I don't even know. I just saw it. I'm like,
that is awesome.
I saw it. I'm like, oh, grab that one. It looks cool.
That definitely looks cool, dude.
Yeah, man.
John's a daring. Let's see. What's up, Comics on the Edge? What's up, my bearded brother? Once they say, I think my shop has a Cooper. I'll go have to look. Nice. I didn't even know he had a comic book. That's awesome. Alice at Marvel. I had no idea. My mind's blown too, dude. Let's see. Bow down to your altar. I mean altar. I mean Spinnerack. That's awesome. The Muppet Show. Oh, he did. I used to love watching it.
Yeah, you know, grandma's favorite.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I have that. I grew up watching that Muppet Show. They play a lot of older TV.
You think I just brought Alice Cooper out on the show called Teachers Lounge. It's one of his biggest hits. The School's Out.
That's awesome. Well, nice. I didn't pick up it. I wish I had more to show. I'm gonna read this. This is another one of that creator that I showed earlier. It's another book that he put out. Hold on, let me make myself. It seems like a pretty cool book. It's called Freaks and Gods. The artwork seems pretty cool. I love like the monster warriors. The werewolf definitely is awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna be. It's another book I'm gonna be reading tonight. Seems pretty cool. Oh, hold on. There we go. Busta Rhymes got a new album. What'd you say? What? I gotta listen to it. That's awesome. Oh, you yawning, bro? You getting tired? Oh, Gaiman's wrote 90s. He did? I didn't know that. That's why he hated Marvel up until 1602 under. Nice. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a great story. Sleepy. I grabbed this one this week too. This new Batman on.
Which one is it? Which series is this from? Oh, is that Blue Beetle? Oh yeah, that's the I want to read that series. Yeah, Batman Beyond. He runs into Blue Beetle.
And it's a Batman and I think it's modern day Batman and Batman Beyond meeting.
No way. Are you serious? I wonder if it's a good series to jump on at this point. They have so many like good like Batman Beyond stories that are out there.
And I got this cool Catwoman.
Nice. Her Siamese. Yes, the Booster Gold. I love Booster Gold. I'm telling you, they need him and Booster Gold and Blue Beetle need to come out with the. I'm gonna keep on preaching it. They need to come out with a Black Label story, like a Black Label comic. What's that? Let me see.
Double Dragon.
Oh yes, I used to love playing the video game.
I mentioned that, and I came across this.
That is awesome. Didn't they have like at one point they had a TV show?
They might have.
Cartoon.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Good night, Rob. I'll definitely jump on Batman Beyond. I was just curious.
Sorry.
So it's all good. Let me take it off you. Yeah, this is probably like one of our longest shows, dude. We're going on for almost like 2 hours.
Yeah. Definitely had a cartoon. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
Probably had the trifecta. I think it did have a movie, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it had a live action movie. I remember that.
They probably had action figures too.
I wouldn't put it past them. Hasbro or Mattel probably made them. Also, I got. I know Rob Worst recently got a bunch of Mr. Miracles, and I was going through my collection. I have a couple of them. I really want to read that issue
It's
1.
pretty cool.
Have you read this series before?
I've read some Mr. Miracle. I haven't read that series, but I have a couple of the issues, but I don't have them all. I should just buy
Nice.
it. I have the one for Big Barda.
Nice.
Like 5 or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I definitely gotta read it. I know what is I always get Mr. Miracle and Miracle Man like mixed up all the time. Even though like they're like 2 different characters.
Yeah, Miracle Man's the British Marvel Man character.
Yeah.
That's a pretty intense read.
I heard. I definitely want to read it in trade. I heard it's what is it? Alan Moore wrote that, didn't he?
Yeah.
I heard, yeah. His writings are always intense.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark.
Yeah. Definitely gotta read it one of these days. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're caught up on the chat. Okay, cool. I see Jan. Do you wanna keep going, or do you wanna like start wrapping up?
Whenever you want to wrap up is fine. I'm kind of tired, so
Yeah, let's. But no, I told you I drink a cup of coffee, so I'm like up right now. But we can start we can start wrapping up. I definitely drink that coffee so I can read later on. But yeah, we can start wrapping up. If you want to like promote anything, hold on.
Just my normal stuff. You guys know I'll be it's Thursday, so Friday I'll be on Meta's auction on his channel, Meta4ickal Komicz, at 7 out west here. 7 p.m. West Coast time, and then 10 p.m. on the East Coast. Saturday, I'll have my auction on my channel. Should be about 6 p.m. West Coast time, like I've been starting. That'll pretty much finish out my week. And Monday I'll start again, and we'll have some fun. And I'll see you next week on my channel. But it's always great hanging out with everybody in the chat. I thank you everybody for being here. I always love. It's always great coming and chatting with you, my friend Kirk, and when it was great having you on the show today. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was. I totally agree.
Awesome.
And then yeah, no problem. I appreciate you, Todd. It's always, I really, like you said, I look forward to these Thursdays because, as teachers, it's always a long week. And then, to be able to meet up with people, that we have, same interests and just cool people, it always helps.
Most definitely.
So, just real quick, you guys already know who I am. Comics on the Mind, aka Mynd Shift. You can always find me here every Thursday with my brother from another mother, Gorilla Todd. Like he said, next week will be on his channel. Just remember, odds are on my channel, evens are on his. So even Stevens next week. If you didn't see our last episode, I also do another show called Not Near Mint every Wednesday at 10 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 for me on the West Coast. So if you get a chance to watch it, go ahead. We did a spotlight last week, this past Wednesday on Scotty Young, my favorite artist, obviously. So go check it out if you guys get a chance to. And then, if you haven't added me on IG, it's Mynd Shift with a Y. And I do post and silly little videos whenever I get a chance to. So if you get a chance, check me out. So let me exit. Boom. So I really appreciate everybody stopping by. We had at one point we had like 15 people in here. So nice. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody's splash page, Biggie, Shaq, Sleepy Reader. Shout out to John for coming by. Not Near Mint. Who else was in here? Gore Vidal. Sanimation, thank you for stopping by. From the Netherlands, Glenn Smith. Yeah, we had a lot of people in here. Thank you for everybody for stopping by, and definitely. We'll see you guys next time for another episode of
Appreciate
the
everyone.
So peace out, everybody.
Peace.
We are.